Hey guys, this is David SNMC Comics. All right, I'm gonna be not showing any books. I just something that kind of was thinking for a while, and what the title says, um, what makes collecting comic books or any collectibles? What makes it worth it? All right, I've been collecting for for a very long time, ever since I was, I guess, grade school. Um, you know, collecting sports card majority most of the time. I guess this is just for me to kind of do a vlog of my thinking, what my opinions is, of what I think, what comic book collecting or any sort of collecting is um, is worth. A lot of people like to have their collectibles as a monetary value. So when they retire or when they're done with the hobby, they can kind of set to their next generation, their daughter, their son, son-in-law, whoever. Or when they come in a jam where they need an lucrative thing for them to sell to pay off a debt, a loan, or something, there's always that certain books in the people's collection that they can liquidate to get money to pay off certain things or go on a trip. I mean, whatever the mean is. Um, I got back into collecting 7 years ago. Having after having kids and things, sometimes you just gotta put everything on hold. And once they kind of all grown up and have their own lives, you get your a niche to go back to what you're used to or comfortable with, or just say something that you're very familiar with. Comic book was one of the thing, and cards came later because. But anyway, we can go into that later. But collecting comics are any collectible and what it makes you worth collecting. Well, this is just my point of view. And I guess this is just for anyone there who's been in the comic book collecting or any collectibles for recent, a year or two or three or maybe four. You might. I always thought that collecting was just for fun. I started collecting just reading comic books. When the DC Rebirth came out, I was fully into it, buying every titles, every issue, reading it, enjoyed it. But later to find out that when you spend so many hundreds of dollars each week per, I said about Jesus for about a year and a half or two, you realize that you want something in return. And that's when I started thinking, all right, what does my collection that I have accumulated in the past year and a half, buying all the single issues, reading them, enjoying them, of course, um, is it worth? And I started to realize that okay, I gotta start putting into monetary values. Like, what does my collection really worth? Some people don't. This is just in my opinion. I guess you can kind of put in a value where certain books will cost so much, and you get your ROI, return of investment. So if you invest $5, that book becomes $20, $50. That's a good ROI. But when you invest $5 weekly, let's just say in cumulative, every week you spend about, let's say back then was $3, three to I don't know, let's just say $3 per issue, and you pick up at least about 10. That's $30 each week. You about, I don't know, 4 weeks. So you probably about $120. And then every month you realize that the $120 that you invested or you have spent the money in those books becomes only a dollar book. So let's say 10, 30, 40. Okay, 40 books, $40. You lost $80. And a lot of people are smart to flip it. But at the time, I just wanted to more of a have a collector. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people, there's a saying out there that collect what makes you happy. But what does really makes you happy? Um, it can be a very satisfactory thing just for a short while. It can be a long term. But as for collectors, I'm sure you can't deny it, but it's a very short term unless you have a major grail that you have achieved. And for me, uh, getting into the comic book 7 years ago, I spent all my money on new releases when I could should have focused on major titles like I have that I should have. and that was a lesson learned, and started getting into things. So what I guess what I'm trying to say here is trying to make this video as short as possible, but it's impossible to do that when you're trying to put a point out there, a message is out there for collectors. You know, what makes it worth collecting? I guess one, focus focus on things that will definitely you'll say in a long term, say, you know what, I don't regret it. Which is hard to say now, but maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, you might consider, you know what, I think I'm doing the right thing. And so here's a good example. There's a Slim Collectables out there. I'll put a video on his. I'll put a link on his to his YouTube channel. And what he did was he used to be a weekend warrior, Wednesday warrior. Go out there, pick up new issues, pick up the good covers, and pick up the thing that what the influence was saying that this cover would be it. But now he has cut everything down. He focuses one one key issue per month. So what he does is instead of buying all these new releases, he whatever he would save up for the month, and he will pick up one key issue comic book, one per month. And I think that's a great way of doing it. Um, I think he's very satisfied with his collections as what he's doing right now. Of course, he does a little pack break, but I mean it's just a little itch that you need to do as a collector. Then you are into sports car, any type of collectibles. I can say it. You can be a stamp or coin. You can't just go completely just go dead turkey, cold turkey. I will say when I used to be a smoker. You can't go cold turkey and say, I'm done with collectibles. There is a certain thing that you must do to keep yourself, keep your insanity when it comes to collectors, collecting things. And I think Slim Comics and Collectibles, Sean is his name, and I enjoy watching him going through the whole process. Once a month, he grabbed the book, and I thinking, you know what, that's a really, really great way of um, building up your collection to a point where when you at the end of the year, the 12 books you picked up is a key issue, and that is something that has some type of monetary value to it, and it is sought after. So it's can say that whenever he needs to get rid of his collection or sell it, there is some value to it. It's not like you are spending so many hundreds of dollars each month, and later to become then you can't even sell it for 25 cents or 50 cents, and you end up selling it on back to LCS for a fraction of the price what you paid for. So collect what makes you happy, but be very wise to a point where what really makes you happy. As for me, 7 years, lesson learned and curved. I'm to a point where I'm very happy with the collection that I am. Am I satisfied? Am I content? I'm content. Am I satisfied? No, because I haven't achieved that. My grail right here, right there. Amazing Fantasy 15. That is my ultimate goal. Like I said, and that will be my end game. And I think that'll be pretty much it for my collecting when it comes to comic. I might get an itch, but who knows what will happen. I guess for new collectors out there, don't be influenced by the influencers, right? I don't know, all those content on all those YouTube content creators and Instagram, all those social influencers. Don't be don't be hooked by them. Collect what you feel that is right for you, and then each month kind of go back into your time and see what you have accumulated, what needs to be filtered out, and what's the books that you feel that makes you feel happy to have it in your private collection or personal collection. All right, and it's the same thing with cards. Collect the players or the character that you or that certain thing. I guess card will be a little bit different, but when it comes to comic book, I said collect what makes you happy, but take a step back and don't get the FOMO get the best out of you. Conserve what you spend. Don't overspend what you really need to spend, and also to a point where it going back in time again. I mean, take a step back after 1 month of what you got, look at it, go through it, and see what makes you happy, and keep the one that you want to keep. Get rid of the one that, and that way you know if you have spent so much on those one that you want to get rid of, and your ROI is not what worth, you can kind of think twice again to see if you want to go through that process again or not, right? Like I said, there's many other type of collecting when it comes to collectibles. It's just my way, saying that if you want a value in your comic book collection, I think you just need to take a step back and see what you have accumulated and what you thought that what you get rid of, one that you keep, and you evaluate that into dollars, lost and gains, and that way you kind of would think twice about going back and spending that $5 to $6 per comic book that people are saying this could be the book. This could be the book. Like you said, there's I would say there's at least about hundreds of title of comic book each week that is being released. Out of that 100, maybe less than 3% will have some type of um, monetary value within the first 2 weeks if it's considered as a hot comic book. But nowadays, it's not like you can go to LCS and pick it up. It's a it's a ratio. It's going to be a Kickstarter. It's something that is Comic Con exclusive, just for the retail incentive. I mean, be careful. Be careful. Like I said, don't get the FOMO. Get the best of you. I don't know if this video has made any sense to you or not, but this is definitely something that I would want to get in talk about again in my next live view or live stream, um, on Sundays. So if you're interested, come back for more, and I'll talk more about collecting. All right. Until next time, guys. Cheers.